federal judges and state judges both swear an oath to faithfully discharge their duties under the Constitution and under the laws of the United States. Judge St. Eve, should a judge ever decide a case based on whether their decision would please the president or any other public official?
I could say in deciding cases, I look at the law and apply the dictates of the Supreme Court, and that's what we are directed to do.
That's right, and that sounds like the normal course of business. But we just found out last week that a federal district court nominee may have done precisely that. Before Florida State Judge Ed Arttow was nominated in May by President Trump, he lobbied for his federal court nomination at the same time that he sat on a state court panel that heard Trump's case against the Pulitzer Prize Board, which Trump was suing because he disagreed with their award of the Pulitzer to the New York Times and the Washington Post. And the decision in the case was about a very narrow question of personal jurisdiction, which the court ruled upon. But this judge filed a concurring opinion in which he reprinted lots of Donald Trump's bold and capitalized letters about what a fraud all of this was. And actually, not only did he reach the merits of the case, saying that Trump had shown that the Pulitzer Board had remarkably acted with actual malice towards Donald Trump, but the actual malice standard set forth in New York Times versus Sullivan should be overturned by the Supreme Court. And the court, he said, should return to the common law standard in England, which allowed for people in public office to prove that they had been libeled by someone without showing any intent at all on just a strict liability standard. Quite a remarkable thing. I suppose you don't want to comment on that particular situation, but would you think it's improper for a judge to be rendering a decision in order to please a president who might then appoint them to the federal bench? Could I ask you, Judge St. Eve, first?
I am not familiar with that situation and don't think it would be proper to comment on somebody who's pending for a judgeship.
Right, and I would never ask you to do that, but let me ask you, Judge Scutter, abstracting from the facts of this case, is I've advanced them in a compressed way, and you can check it out if you're interested on your own. There's a lot of news coverage about it. But do you agree with what I think Judge St. Eve said at the beginning, which is that a judge should never rule in a way that is designed to please a public official as opposed to enforce the meaning of the law?
I do agree with that, and I think you recognized it in some of your comments that preceded your question, and that is embedded within the oath that judges take is we swear to decide and resolve issues without fear or favor. The independence of the judiciary is enshrined in Article 3 of the Constitution, and we take seriously the duty that you recognized earlier, that Chief Justice Marshall pronounced in Marbury.
Well, I appreciate that very much.